Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of Through the Mists, our D&D actual play. Hi Lilith. I see you waving over there. I'm still jealous of your hoodie.
I love that hoodie.
So, just a real brief recap of last episode. You were all standing in one of the various kind of lounging study rooms in this mansion that you have found yourselves in. And essentially Lilith had gotten it in her head that she wanted to compare all of the pieces of artwork that are around the house, because some of them were moving, some of them were changing, some of them were like obviously representations of the same people over time, and so you were gathering them all into one of those studies to look at. And as you turned around, Lyra was just gone. And so in an attempt to find Lyra, Twiggy led the way downstairs. And when I say to find Lyra, I mean the kitchen, but Lyra was definitely also in that search.
Totally.
And so, actually finding the kitchen, you had found, essentially the kitchen was like falling apart. There were like kind of weird smells in there. And Twiggy turned around to find like a lobster roll that had just shown up, and it was moving a little, but he didn't mind and went ahead and ate it. And then I believe it was Lilith found a stairwell that went down into a basement. So following, I think Lilith led the way, and then Dizzy with your dancing lights lit the way for Twiggy. And you found there was a wine cellar down there. Kind of looking around, it looked like a lot of the wines were very old. Twiggy had opened one and found it was essentially vinegar at that point. But you heard a strange meowing sound, almost like a cat, but like with the intention of it trying to sound like a cat, and it wasn't a cat. And so you went to look, and you found these strange cat-like creatures, which then handily knocked out Dizzy and Lilith, and Twiggy managed to scare off the last surviving cat, which had exploded into several smaller cats and ran up the stairs. So now as we begin, Twiggy, you're just kind of hovering there as the dancing lights that are lighting this room fade away, leaving you in darkness. But before it does, you notice that Lilith is not breathing.
We cast Fairy Fire on Lilith.
Okay. She can't make a dex save, so she lights up and is glowing.
Well, I'll land on top of Lilith.
Okay.
Kind of do a general kind of pace patrol, kind of the length side, I guess, of the corpse. I mean, I'm no doctor. I think I'm gonna try yelling in each ear.
Okay.
An assortment of sounds. That usually wakes people up, I think. Or she's dead. And if she's dead, well, you have to wait 3 days. Is that how that works with mortals? Is it 3 days?
Before you can eat them?
No, like there's something that they do when they die or something, and then they might come back. I don't know. It's a whole... Mortal creatures are weird.
True.
Yeah.
All right, so while you're shouting in Lilith's ears, Dizzy, go ahead and roll me a d4 if you wouldn't mind.
What was that?
Go ahead and roll me a d4.
Okay.
Two. Okay. Twiggy, the light that's spilling off of Lilith's body kind of illuminates the area around, not very well, but enough that you can see Dizzy laying there. Dizzy is breathing. However, they are definitely unconscious, and they don't seem to be bleeding out or anything, but they would need some kind of help to wake up. The shouting in Lilith's ears isn't enough to wake Dizzy.
Well, we'll deal with Lilith later, because, I mean, kind of hard to tell if someone's actually dead, I suppose, until, that they're, like, dead. It's like several stages of dead, I think, is how that works. Kind of go yell in Dizzy's ears.
Okay. What do you yell in Dizzy's ear?
I'm going to loudly sing a folk song, but completely butcher the lyrics and see if that wakes him up.
Okay.
I've been told that my bad singing has been good enough to, wake the dead, so maybe that'll...
Dizzy, why don't you
that'll
make a
work.
con save?
It's so bad it does damage.
Oh. So, Twiggy, you're like singing this song into Dizzy's ear at the top of your lungs, and Dizzy doesn't wake, but all of a sudden there's a thump coming from further down the line of barrels. Kind of over by where that cat, or where that cat creature exploded and created like several smaller versions of itself.
Alright, well, while there's still light, I'm gonna draw my rapier and face that sound. And of course, nudge Dizzy's face with my elbow and be like, get up. Hey.
Perfect.
Hey.
So, Lyra, you were standing in this study. You're looking at these various paintings. Everyone's kind of talking about things. They're still discussing that large eye that showed up in the window when Dizzy looked out, but it isn't there any longer. And then you're in total darkness. And there's something all around you. Like it's completely covering you. And as you go to take a breath, this burning liquid rushes down your throat and into your nose, and your eyes are stinging. And with your dark vision, you can kind of tell that there's something surrounding you, almost like some kind of box or something. But there is a liquid that you are suspended in.
Oh, great.
As you kind of like do that kind of involuntary like thrash for a moment, what do you do?
Hate every minute of it. I mean, at least it's not fire. What does she do? Is it super viscous? Can she move through it easily?
You can move through it pretty easily, but you don't have a lot of space to move around. It's very cramped. In fact, you're not even standing. You're kind of smooshed in. And you hear very quietly, and it's strange because even your movements are like, the sound of them are very muffled and deadened by this liquid that you're in. But very clearly in your mind, you hear, "Get out."
Whoa. Okay, Lyra, if she's smooshed in, is literally just gonna extend herself as hard and fast as possible, arms and legs against whatever box she's in, shove, kick, punch, I don't know.
Sure. Why don't you make a strength check? Athletics if you have it.
Okay.
Nice. So as you just kind of bunch up and then extend yourself in both directions, you hear a cracking, and the liquid begins to automatically, or right away, it just kind of rushes out away from you. You're still laying in a small puddle of it by the time it's done. And you kind of cough up.
Water? Is it slippery? Is it jelly? No, definitely.
It's not jelly. It's definitely not water, though. It burns, like your eyes are burning. Once you kind of expel some of it, it has this very vinegar smell and taste. A little bit of grape to it, but mostly it's just this bitter, harsh vinegar.
She knows what it is. It's very terribly turned wine, probably. She knows her alcohol good and bad. So
knowing that, you suddenly dawns on you, you're probably in some kind of wine cask, although how you got there, you're really not sure. And Twiggy, you can see this foot just kick out a chunk of the I can't think of what they're called, the barrel top?
Yeah.
Of one of the casks, and then it pulls back in, but a bunch of the wine just like spills out onto the floor in the like very shaded area of the far end of the room.
First of all, wasteful. Second of all, combat positions. Going to position myself between this cask and the bodies of my comrades.
Okay.
For a final stand! Bring it on!
You'll never take them alive!
You'll never take them alive!
I'll kill them before I let you take them!
One of them you can't take alive!
So Lyra, you can breathe. You definitely are still in this cask, but you've managed to like crack open the end enough to like your foot was out of it, but you feel like you need to kind of kick out the rest of the slats.
Okay, she's gonna like literally just take like the butt of one of her daggers and just like go to town on like the opening. She's like, just as like something harder than her fist.
Right. Yeah, so it takes a few hits with it, but you manage to crack them open, and there's a little bits of splinters that kind of like are stuck into the edge there, but you manage to get the bulk of the cap off.
Okay.
What do you do then?
Can she hear anything now? Like she heard the get out,
right.
But like, is there anything that she can hear, her surroundings, things like that?
There's a little bit of noise that you're making because of the wine that's still in there with you. There's like dripping noises outside. Is Twiggy making any noise, or are you just like?
Well, he's getting ready. He's spent. He's gravely wounded, and lacking the energy to fly into a rage. But he's getting ready. He's holding an action.
And Lyra, you do notice a very faint glow outside of the cask that you're in. It's not enough to really give you any details, but with your dark vision, you can see that directly across from you is a set of stairs. I don't think you're Are you on the...
No, I'm not.
The map?
I am not, no. I'm assuming I'm like over here.
Where are you? All right, let me snag your token, and why don't you tell me what you do?
All right, so Lyra is going to, now that the cask is kind of open, she's gonna, she's in this cask, right, and her feet, and she's twisted, and, thank God she's kind of flexible, because she just kind of, like, flips around in the cask so that, like, she can hands out, like, and so she kind of reaches around the edge of the cask and, like, very carefully, because she has no idea where she was, this weird disembodied voice just like screeched at her to get out.
Yeah.
So she's very cautious, especially given the fact that she literally feels like she's going insane because she's seeing things that people aren't seeing and hearing things that people aren't hearing, and nobody believes her. So now she's been warped into this cask of spoiled wine and just is like, and she just like very carefully like peeks out, like, the fuck is happening?
So as you peek out, you notice the source of that glow appears to be a glowing body, and right away you recognize it as Lilith, because she's just like Just this light is kind of emanating off of her, but she's very recognizable. And laying next to her are several dead, what looks like strange cats or something. And Dizzy is also laying on the ground, not glowing. And Twiggy is kind of trying to keep himself fluttering, above them, looks defensive. Twiggy, you can see a head peer out, but make a perception check.
Oh, right.
I'm
Twiggy doesn't
super
have
good at
dark
these.
vision. I forgot that
perceptive.
Twiggy doesn't have dark vision.
Nope. We don't need to see in the dark in the Feywild.
Right? Everything is light and glitter.
Everything
Oh,
is
no.
light and glitter.
All you see, as you peer out, all you see are these two black eyes in this face, just reflecting like a very small amount of that light that's coming off of Lilith's body.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell no. I'm going to chuck a dead cat at her.
So you grab one of
Dive
those
down.
like smaller
Yeah,
ones, like the head from the larger
Yeah.
one that burst apart. You grab one of the smaller ones and just like swing it around and throw it over there. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Yeah. And improvised weapons are the best. Let's see here. How will I do that on this sheet? Would have an improvised weapon attack?
Probably unarmed strike. Probably.
Yeah, you should have it on there. If not, just roll a d20 and add your strength.
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 Or roll a strength check. 19. Lyra, what essentially is a small, like a very tiny, furless, weird-looking creature that is resemblant of a cat, just smacks you in the face and then flops down into the puddle of wine. Doesn't do any damage. It's a dead cat thing, but
Lyra's face is literally like. It's. Ew.
Stay back.
Does Twiggy say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hearing Twiggy's voice, Lyra's gonna continue to climb out of this cat. Like she kind of like breathes a sigh of relief, right? Climbs out and she goes, "Oh, will you shut it? It's me, you buffoon."
Twiggy, you're pretty sure that is Lyra. Like, it's more the tone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the unamused tone.
Okay, well, if you're Lyra, then how did you get inside that very good wine?
First of all, terrible wine, vinegar. Burned my insides, don't drink it.
What? It's vinegar and not wine?
Wine turned into vinegar.
Can wine turn into vinegar?
It's magic.
No.
Yes.
No. Yeah, so what are you doing in there? If you're
I
not drinking
don't
the wine?
know. I don't know.
You don't know. You don't go like crawling into a box and be like, I don't know why I'm in this box. Well, I mean, I do that a lot, but generally people don't crawl into a box and are like, oh, I don't know why I'm in this box. I mean, like people get in the box because it's, a nice box to sit in, right?
1 minute I was there with you guys, the next I wasn't, and then I woke up and I was in this jug of wine that was terrible and drowning me, and so I kicked my way out. What are you doing here? Weren't you upstairs?
Oh, well, I mean, we were, and then there were these cats, and, and then Lyra probably is dead, but we have a few days to wait, I think, before we really know.
Lyra, you mean Lilith?
Lilith, sorry, I'm talking to Lyra.
How hard did you hit your head?
Well, I mean, there were cats, and they're almost as bad as seagulls. Horrible, evil cats that said meow.
Whoa. Lilith is... And like,
Oh,
Lyra
yeah,
pauses.
well,
Yeah.
Almost
like,
dead.
books
not
it to
sure.
Lilith. Like,
As
books
you-
it to Lilith.
As you draw closer, as you run over there, like you're very aware of what your friend looks like, and so as you look at her, she's like very pale. The kind of like slightly bluish tinge of her skin has like turned more gray, and you could see some pretty deep wounds in her like exposed flesh.
No.
She also does not appear to be breathing.
No, Lyra doesn't like that. Mm, can she? Thinking. She's going to, uh, for herself too, take a minute to like be like, oh my god, and like examine Lilith if we want to like touch base on other people because I'm also out of character thinking about what she would do
Right.
here.
While Lyra is investigating what happened to Lilith, Twiggy, what are you doing?
So I don't think that this song is working. Maybe you know a song that would wake. Oh God, brain fart! All of a sudden,
Dizzy.
Ziggy. I mean, do you know any songs that would like go on for like eternity? Like a song that never ends, and then you sing it long enough, and I mean, they're gonna have to get up and wake up, right? That's how that works. Probably would work with Lilith too, because that's usually how like death works.
Can Lyra roll a medicine check to see if she can do anything for either of them?
Sure.
Because she's kind of like, she kind of plopped herself like here, like between the two of them, and is like looking at them both and things like that. Lilith is not actively bleeding, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's very concerning to Lyra because if she's actively bleeding, there's something to stop and it's still flowing and pumping.
Right.
And she's like, no. So as she's rolling the medicine check, she says to Twiggy, she's like, isn't there any sort of fae magic you can do to heal them, not just singing?
What, who, me? Well, you see, I have, great powers that currently are unavailable.
Lyra's muttering something under her breath that sounds a little close to useless butterfly, but she doesn't really say it out loud.
You know, if I ever make it back to the Feywild, I'll be able to do all sorts of amazing things. Just you watch.
Just you watch.
Just you watch.
Butterfly, pluck your. She's like, pin you to a shadow box. She's like poking around at Dizzy and Lilith, trying to figure out if there's anything she can do to either wake Dizzy or revive Lilith.
Yeah. So as you're, doing all this and the light of the dancing or the fairy fire fades away, you don't really notice because you can still see, like, you're just in your head, you're so focused on these things that you don't notice the fading of the light. And looking at Dizzy with your medicine roll, he's definitely alive. He's breathing. He has some pretty gnarly wounds that are kind of they're not bleeding, but they're doing that thing where, like, when you cut yourself and it's still like kind of not coagulated. Like, it's still just a little like soft, and so like he still has some wounds that are icky, but you think he's okay.
Okay. Lyra's gonna take her water skin and like just kind of like flash some of it on his face, just like, wake up.
Sure.
Dizzy,
why don't you make me a con save at advantage? Excuse me. Nice. It's like climbing out of a pit of mud. You just slowly, there's this weird cold sensation on your face, and your consciousness kind of grasps for it and pulls itself awake, and you sputter a little bit, and you're awake with 1 hit point.
Okay. What happened? What's going on? Where am I?
Oh, and you're awake.
I
told
was
you singing would work.
sleeping?
You
Yes.
were almost dead.
Oh, right. I think I kind of remember what happened.
Cats.
Yes, cats. I honestly didn't think that they were gonna put up much of a fight. And I was wrong for underestimating them. Where's Lilith?
Maybe dead. We're not really sure. Give it a
Maybe
couple of days.
dead.
He can't
Maybe. I don't know.
be dead. And Lyra's like very serious about it. Like Lyra is like very serious.
Well, I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying that it's impossible. It's probably
Is
probable.
there anything that we can do for her?
Can you do
or-
anything, please? She's. And Lyra just kind of like. Lyra doesn't express. She doesn't emote, but like, she's upset. She's upset. Please do something.
And Twiggy, just to be clear, Twiggy, it's now dark again.
Well, and they're still making noises, right?
Yep.
So they're still here.
Yep.
We're inside a building, so there can't be seagulls. Oh God, I'm gonna have to bring out a torch. So I'm gonna rummage in my bag, pull out a matchstick, light that thing up,
Okay. And
use it to lean on because not feeling hot.
okay. Dizzy, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I don't have any sort of healing magic. I can play a song that makes people feel better, but other than that, I don't.
In desperation, Lyra is literally just going to roll over to Lilith and just like kind of CPR, like wake up, get up. You can't die. Get up.
It's like in TV shows where like they start with CPR and it never works. They have to wait until, they're pounding on their chest. Damn it,
Yes.
no, live.
See, Lyra's not crying. Lyra's angry. Like she's not crying. She's not like sad. She's angry. Like wake the Lilith. Like, get up.
So how long do you do that for?
She's going. She's going. She's trying.
So while Lyra is attempting to revive Lilith with all of her best intentions, what is Dizzy doing?
I'm gonna try doing a medicine check to see if there's anything that can be done.
Okay. I mean, you look down in the light that Twiggy's torch gives off, and you can see that her wounds are, even with the pumping that Lyra is doing on Lilith's chest, there's no blood coming out. So like you're pretty sure she's dead, and without the ability to use some kind of magic to resuscitate her, there's nothing you guys can really do.
Okay. That's all I do for now.
Okay. And Twiggy, you've lit your little torch and you're leaning on it. Is there anything else you want to do?
Well, I guess Lyra's beating on Lilith for some weird reason. I'm going to, I guess, inspect the room.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
I don't think we've done that yet. I think we just came down and then got our faces eaten by cat demons. Did I go through? Yep.
Nice. So as you're like leaning on the matchstick and you're like trying to figure out what to do, like why is Lyra doing this to Lilith's body? It's kind of strange. You're just glancing around and you do see under the casks that the cat creatures climbed out like from under is like a bundle of something. Looks like it's like white fabric kind of mushed into a pile.
Well, I'll go and take a look at that then.
Okay. It looks like whatever those creatures were had taken whatever this fabric is and were like essentially using it as a bed or some kind of nest or whatever. So it's a little dirty, but as you kind of look at it, you're pretty sure it's an apron of some kind.
Well, I guess I'm gonna grab that apron.
Okay.
And bring it over to Lilith and be like, Lyra, she's probably gonna get cold, while we're waiting for her to like get up. So I found this.
Oh, guess what, John?
Oh, no. Hey, Luke.
Roll any die.
What happened? Oh, was that Libby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
she's backing it up. I'm not gonna make you roll twice for that one. That's just her.
I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Why am I rolling the dice? What happened?
Tickle fate.
You know what? RD 1000. Oh, it doesn't like that command. Oh, it does.
Nice.
389.
All right. So as you begin dragging this thing out, apparently there was at least one of those little cat things still in here, and it pounces down on you.
Oh God.
Oh,
Lyra. Oh, Lyra doesn't like this.
Did that not go through? There it is. Does an 18 hit you?
Maybe.
Okay. You can take 4 points of damage.
Super unconscious.
So Lyra, you hear this "Rah!" as Twiggy gets pounced on. They're underneath the casks just off to the left there. And you see this cat thing underneath it just grab Twiggy by the neck, by the fur of the neck, and just shakes the crap out of him. His body goes limp and his wings fall down to his side and they're just like emanating glitter. What do you do? Oh, Dizzy is also awake. Dizzy, you notice that as well.
Okay.
What do you guys do?
If Lyra were a barbarian, there would be so much rage.
I mean, there still can be rage. It's not the kind
It's
of
just
rage
not-
you want it to be, right?
Yeah, exactly. Little like, I guess like a flavor note. There's like the air around Lyra is like really, really, really cold. Like it's just really cold, the air around
Nice.
her. Like painfully cold.
Like Dizzy, you notice Dizzy, it's cool down here anyway because it's like a wine cellar and there hasn't really been. But there's like this frigidness that sets in all of a sudden. You're not really sure where it's from, but yeah, the room has definitely gotten colder, at least where you are in the room.
Lyra she stops at Lilith because she hates it, but she realizes that there's probably not much she can do. She stops at Lilith and like watches Twiggy get shaken, and she just goes, "I was only kidding," and she takes one of her daggers, just throws it at this cat.
Okay.
Like, just be like, put him down. Like I didn't actually want to kill him.
Go
Jesus.
ahead and roll it.
Okay.
As you throw it, it's probably the the anger that like boils out into this like kind of incoherent sound as you throw the dagger, and the cat's eyes look up just in time for it to dodge off to the side, and it's still holding Twiggy in its mouth, and it begins to like drag Twiggy further down and away, like a cat would do with a rat.
A mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dizzy, what do you do?
Alright, I am going to cast Dissonant Whispers. 'Cause I don't
Nice.
want to get close to this thing because I have 1 HP, but I
Right.
also don't want to let it take away my friend. So,
Now remind me, is that a wisdom or an intelligence save? Or is it charisma?
I think it's Wisdom. Yeah, Wisdom.
Okay. As an 18.
Oh, well, that,
But
yeah,
it does half damage, is that right?
I'm trying to see. Oh yeah, half.
Okay.
Half damage.
So as this thing looks, and it's kind of glaring at Lyra, but it has this like look of pride on its face as it carries Twiggy away, and then all of a sudden it just goes and falls over, and like Twiggy's fur is still in its mouth, but it just is like laying on its side with its eyes wide open, and there's like a little bit of gook that like drains out of its ear. It is most definitely dead. Twiggy, go ahead and make a death save.
All right, stand by. Let's see here. Is there a death save button?
There
on
should
this?
be. I'm gonna look at a sheet here real quick.
I'm not seeing
Oh,
one.
you have to be dying for it to show up. So put your
Oh,
HP
put myself at zero.
Yeah.
Okay. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Hey, all right. How do I roll it? It
I
just shows
think-
me.
Once it shows up, I think you just click on it.
No, it
Not
opens
working?
up a. Me try this.
There we go. 16.
Hey!
Excellent.
All right.
Lyra, what do you want to do?
Lyra literally just collapses, just like on the ground, just like, falls like. Ugh.
Okay. Dizzy.
I'm just gonna kind of hang back because I don't want any more surprises.
Okay. Twiggy, make another death save.
I got it. All right. Let's see here. I go right through here, and then I push this button.
Excellent. Lyra, as you're sitting there, Twiggy's not moving, Lilith isn't moving, Dizzy's kind of watching and looking around to make sure there are no more of these creatures that pop out. What do you do?
Lyra, after she has her moment of gets up, goes over to Twiggy, who's laying there, who is breathing, and she just, without like trying to do damage, right? Just making that very clear. She kind of like takes her finger just against his cheek, goes, "Wake up."
So he's a little bit underneath the
Wake up.
castle. You kind of have to like scoop him out, but then you can be like, dink. Do you want to do call it a medicine check
Sure.
to wake him up?
I mean, it could be like a sleight of hand medicine, like whatever.
Let's do a medicine check. Yeah.
How tall is, like, how big is Twiggy? Just for my own reference.
In my head, he's very small.
Yeah.
Like, he's like
close to-
pixie size, right?
He's on the yeah, but they're listed as small sized creatures, so
Okay, so
mechanically small, flavorfully
Tiny.
very large, tiny.
Yeah.
A large,
Yeah.
tiny.
Okay, so like
Somewhere in between.
the small side of small.
Yeah.
Yeah, the smallest that you can go before you hit the next size category.
Okay.
And like he sits
Okay.
on
Yeah.
Lilith's shoulder and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so...
and he sat on
Yeah.
Lyra's shoulder
Yeah.
too before. So, all right. Cool. Yeah, we'll go medicine. Yeah,
Okay.
sure. That works.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
Nat 20. Yeah.
So, Twiggy,
Wow.
you feel this like kind of pressure against your face. It doesn't hurt so much as startle you, and you wake up, and a little bit
Cats!
of glitter like poofs out as his wings flare out, and you are awake with 1 hit point, Twiggy.
Gonna get to my feet, pick up my weapon, pick up my torch, and I'm gonna look for the cat.
So the cat is like
Yeah.
laying underneath. There's like obvious stuff coming out of its head. So like this point, like there might be a little drainage from its eye. It is very dead. And the apron you were dragging is about 7 feet maybe away from you. Your torch was back there because you would have dropped it when you went unconscious.
So I'm gonna go retrieve my stuff,
Okay.
kick the cat,
Okay.
kick it again, and then bring that apron back over to Lilith.
Sure. As you drag the apron out, you hear something jingling inside, and it's like there's a heaviness to it that it's scraping, not like very heavily, but scraping slightly against the ground, against the cold stone of the floor as you pull it out.
I stab it.
Doesn't do anything.
So there's no like loud startled meow or like a golem that explodes
No.
from.
Now the apron just says, "I'm not a mimic.
I'm not a mimic, bro.
I'm not a mimic, bro."
We'll, I guess, inspect further.
So you find that there's
Why
like
is
a
it making
pocket.
noise?
There's a pocket on the apron.
What's in the pocket? What's in the pocket?
Looking inside the pocket, you find that there's a key, and there's a small, for you, I mean, you could probably hold it like this. It's like a silver bowl on a chain, but for Lyra and Dizzy, it would be more like a little taster, as though you wanted to like taste a soup or something. You could. It's called a taste tin, but I didn't know if anyone knew what a taste tin was.
I don't think sommeliers carry those like in their pockets or something.
Yeah.
Like a silver one. Well, awesome bowl. I'm into it. Don't know what the key's for. Hey, are there any locked doors? I found a key. Probably opens all of them.
Wait, sorry, that was an ADHD moment, but
Onward!
Sorry.
It'll be fine.
sorry.
On to the next room.
It's probably fine. They'll get up in a second. Hey, Dizzy, I found a key.
A key for what?
The lock. It's usually what they're for, I think.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But I found one, and so it will totally open the lock.
But I don't know. I feel like we should kind of rest and regroup.
Well,
I am not for exploring right now.
Well, I mean, where there are cats, there will be cats returning. So this is probably not a really great spot. Plus, when the other cats get back up, we're going to be in a whole lot of trouble. So
Did we
should
not
probably-
kill the cats?
Well, I mean, we did some damage.
Also, should we bury Lilith?
Why would you do that?
At the mention of, so should we bury Lilith, Lyra, that cold air around her gets like a little bit sharper, and there's like this like slight sheen to her skin. She goes, "Don't touch her."
We can't just leave her here.
Lyra's
Wow.
just like glaring. She's like, she doesn't like this. Like she's, don't touch her.
Oh, we can take her upstairs and put her in a chair. Probably more comfortable than the ground.
I don't. Sure, let's do that.
All right. I mean, I can't, unfortunately. She's very big.
I mean, what do you want to do, Lyra?
Lyra has a lot of words that could probably hurt a lot of feelings. And
Also, how did you end up here? How did you get here?
how did you die? Does it matter? No, we're here.
I mean, you're right. But you just kind of, I don't know. Everything's weird. I don't know what to make of
Does
anything.
anything about this place make sense? We should get out. And like the way she says get out is like kind of like we should get out.
Alright, well, do you want to help me move Lilith, or are we
Like
just...
you helped her, and she's like, she's very like, she's
Lilith
not-
was up before I went down. I was the first
Fine.
person to go down, I think.
You were.
She'll just say fine. She's like, I don't need your help. Now she's gonna try to do this by herself, even though Lilith is like 2.5 feet taller than her.
Right.
Like all that stuff. She's like, I don't need your help.
In fact, Dizzy, make a do a wisdom save. Nice. It's very off-putting because when you had been knocked out, you were having such a pleasant dream about the carnival and everyone was getting along and you were like enjoying. And then you wake up to this and like Lyra's back, but she's obviously in distress. You're having a hard time, so your mood is kind of stable. Like you are not having any issues with the way that Lyra is treating you, but it is very you definitely get where Lyra's coming from, but it's like you don't really know how to help her at this point. And when she says, I don't need your help, and she goes over and starts tugging on Lilith, what do you do?
I'm gonna not offer my help, but I will intervene if I guess she seems like she's struggling.
Okay. Twiggy, what are you doing over there?
Well, I mean, I'm badly injured, but I'll soldier up, flit up to shoulder height, brandishing my torch, and weapon drawn just in case that other cat shows up, and then head upstairs. They've got this. It's okay. They've got this.
Important question. Did you close the door behind you when you came down the stairs?
Did we?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think we did.
I didn't think so because that let a little bit of that light in after you. Just curious.
Yeah.
As you
Yeah,
head up there, you don't see any signs of the little cats or anything. And as you flit into the kitchen, there is a lobster roll that's steaming a little bit.
Love this house. I'm moving in. Gonna chow down, I guess, while I wait for the others.
Okay. Lyra, why don't you make me an athletics check?
Nat 20.
So-
Lyra's determined.
Yeah, whether it's sheer determination, it's like that adrenaline strength that you get. Lyra doesn't pick Lilith up so much as like forcibly drags her in any way that she can. Dizzy, it's not fun to watch. It's not pretty whatsoever. It's not even gallant. Like, you know what Lyra wants to do for her friend, but she's just like kind of dragging her along, and like Lilith's head kind of bounces off the floor a couple of times, but she does get her up the stairs. And as you come out into the kitchen, Twiggy's like popping the last moving shrimp into his mouth, And
It's so good.
Dizzy, are you following?
Oh yeah, I'm following. I'm gonna follow Lyra, and just to keep an eye and to intervene if needed.
So as you're watching, and Lyra essentially has like put Lilith's arms under her like armpits, and so her hands are sticking out in front of her, and she's just like, motherfucker, like dragging her up. Lilith's
She's
head.
probably grumbling something about like, you know, if you would just move. You know, it's like she's mad at Lilith. Like she's just, you know.
And as you're watching this, Lilith's head pops up, and her eyes open, and she looks at you. And like there's a startling difference because her eyes are almost like the whites of her eyes are almost black. Like it looks like blood has pooled and like darkened in her eyes. And she looks at you. Lilith, do you happen to be there? So as you're standing there and you're like fighting these cat things off of Dizzy, and then you're not really sure what happens, but you just like feel super weak, and there's just blood kind of spraying everywhere, and you realize it's your own as you kind of slump to the ground. And then you are pulled away. Like you see the house all of a sudden beneath you, and you're looking down on this patch of open ground in this forest, and in the patch is the house, and it's like getting smaller as the patch gets smaller, and then the forest gets further away, and it starts to lose its details, and at the edges of the forest is this fog, and you hit this weird like bump, like it feels almost like a pressure on your back, and then you're through it, and there's fog in front of you. You can't see the house anymore, and then you just get further and further away, and then you see other bits of land show up. Some are larger than others, some are very well obscured, barely visible by the fog that's below you. Some are more open. You see a desert over there. You see some kind of like jungly area that's over here. It almost looks like there's a continent beneath you, but you can't see where the lands meet at all. And as you kind of reach this pinnacle, like you're hovering there, you don't really feel like you're going very fast anymore. There is a spot that's open that is kind of off to the as you're looking at it, it'd be up from the place where you were, where the house was. You could call it north. That's like kind of what your brain registers, but you're not really sure what direction is what. And it looks like the land there is broken, like it's falling apart, and there's pieces kind of floating off, and it almost looks like the mist is encroaching more and more on it as you're watching it. And there's a certain remembrance there, and you have no idea why it seems familiar to you. But you feel like in order to get out of here, to get back home, you have to go there, but you have to do something. It's like this idea that you have, but you don't know why you have it. You're like, we need to get stuff from these other places, and then we have to go there somehow. It's almost like someone told you this, but you don't remember them telling you. You can't even remember who it was that told you. And then you open your eyes, and Dizzy's looking at you, and there's maybe a little bit of shock in Dizzy's face. And you feel very, very sore as you're like bumping up these stairs. Somebody is pulling you by the arms. What do you do?
I struggle because the last thing I recall before was wanting to swing at a cat. So I
Yeah.
I have a jerk reaction, and I'm looking around. I'm like, I had this dream, and you were there, and you were there, you were there.
Why don't you make a strength check?
Let's see how strong.
Yeah, so you don't. I mean, you're not really at the best angle to begin with, but you're also feeling a little weakened from your collapse or whatever it was that happened to you. Lyra, what's your strength score?
Like base
Yeah,
10.
10.
She has no mods.
Why don't you go ahead and make either an athletics or a strength check?
Okay, we're gonna go athletics.
Mm. Yeah, so all of a sudden, Lilith begins moving, and like you don't know if it's gravity because you're still kind of like pulling her out of the stairwell, but all of a sudden she just like falls to the ground. What do you do?
Freeze. She's like, what?
Yeah, and as you look back, her eyes are open and she's kind of looking up at you, and she looks like down at Dizzy, and she says something about a dream, and you were there, and you were there. But Lyra, you've noticed her eyes are very different. Like they're the same color, but like the blue of them, kind of like that slate blue of her her irises, just like pops out now because the white of her eyes has turned black, and her skin is still that same kind of sickly gray pallor as opposed to that like somewhat light bluish.
So Lyra's gonna like, whip around and see Lilith looking at her and goes, "Are you fucking dead or not?" Literally, that's what she says.
Ah, see, I told you.
Well, what is going on?
I'm gonna casually just look around at everybody after everything and say, "Don't worry about it," very calmly.
You look up and
Are
like
you bleeding?
there's like bits of lobster roll spewing out of Twiggy's mouth as he like, "Say, I told you."
That's how it's done. I took a class on it once.
Dizzy, she's
Death
not
in
bleeding.
the prime material plane.
Alright, can I check and see if she has like a pulse or anything? Alright, would I need to roll like a medicine check?
No,
or-
I don't think so. I just need to see if she has a pulse. Hang on. While I'm looking this up, Lilith, what are you doing?
Well, I very gently stand up and dust myself off. I'm pretty wrinkled and disgruntled right now. Or not disgruntled, I'd say gruntled. Where you're just kind of like baseline. And I feel a little different. I feel like all my clothes are just a little bit big on me, where they fit just so they perfectly before, so they're a little bit big, and I feel a little different. I feel a little different, though a little rested, to tell you the truth. I feel a little rested.
Yeah.
And that dream was really calming. It was very calming. I have a sense of purpose now.
Okay.
I have a real sense of purpose.
Dizzy, she does not have a pulse. And you notice that she doesn't breathe except for to say something. Like, just before she says something, she takes an inhale and then says something and then doesn't inhale again until she says something else.
I'm gonna relay that information to everyone, and I don't know, this is really strange. I think you're still dead, but you're also not somehow.
It takes a couple of days.
You're not breathing,
Twiggy is right.
and you don't
Twiggy
have
is
a
right.
pulse.
Don't worry about it. But Twiggy is right. There's a process to this. So don't worry.
I mean,
still-
I've seen my fair share of dead people before, and this is strange.
Don't worry about it.
Do you have anything to say about this, Lyra?
Yeah.
Lyra is just like, I mean, she asked Lilith if she was dead or not, and was like, I don't really know. And so Lilith, and so Lyra is just like, well, make up your mind, and pick yourself up then. Let's go. Like, she's still like, make up your mind. And she just leaves Lilith there. Like, she just like, fine, make up your mind.
Yeah. Lilith gets up and is like, we've got things to do. Gets up and starts heading up the stairs.
Well, what do we have to do? I still don't know what we're doing in here.
We need to get out of this house.
But we know how to get out of the house. You came from outside, remember?
Did we try the front door?
Isn't
To
that
get
how you
out?
got in?
That's how I got in.
We're leaving?
I didn't know we were leaving. I thought, I don't know what we were doing, to be honest. We were just kind of here. You were outside, and you came in, and now we're here.
It seems we're supposed to find things, though we probably should find something in the house before we leave the house.
I found something.
What'd you find?
Well, first, the most important, a lobster roll. Second, I ate the lobster roll. And third, I found a key and an apron. And I was going to use it to keep you warm, but it's a bit smaller than you, so wasn't going to do a whole lot of work, really.
Let's find the door that the key fits.
Let's. Yes.
I vote that we take a rest first because we're all very battered and bruised.
Yeah,
That sounds great.
everyone should be at 1 hit point except for Lyra. I'm not sure what she's at.
2.
2. So, Dizzy, what would you like to do for your rest? What are you thinking?
I think I'm gonna do
Let me put you
the
back
Song of Rest.
I'm going to put you back
Sure.
on the first floor so you can tell me where you're. So you should all be in the kitchen. If you're not in the kitchen, let me know.
Let's see here. Where did we start the fire? We have a fire going down here, I think, on this floor.
A fire started in the kitchen's fireplace.
Oh,
You didn't start it; it started itself.
see, this house knows how to be hospitable. Fireplace, lobster roll. Perfect.
But who prepared all of this stuff?
The servants, like, I don't know, the kitchen person. I mean, they're not here right now. Obviously, they're probably busy doing something else, like getting our bedrooms ready. But yeah,
Okay, well, I suppose we should take a rest, kind of regain our bearings, maybe discuss a strategy plan. I still feel like Lilith is acting a little strange, but I will leave that be for now.
Do you want to rest in the kitchen, or do you want to head back to one of the other rooms?
The kitchen seems like a good place.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure Twiggy would not disagree.
it's the best place so far. 2 free lobster rolls. That's a sign of a good house.
I'm in agreement. I'll sit down on the floor and just kind of zone out.
Okay.
For my rest.
Are you gonna do a short rest or a long rest?
I'm gonna do. Well, I mean, what does everybody else want to do? I get okay with the short.
I mean, I think a short rest is fine, but we would probably have to roll our hit dice. Otherwise, we're gonna be in the same position. So,
Oh, with your Song of Rest, they get to add an extra. Is it a
extra
D?
D6 for
Nice.
now.
So
Ooh.
if any of you spend hit dice, roll an extra D6 to add to your hit points.
So we're taking a short rest?
I think that's where you're starting at least, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll take
I
a short
will-
rest.
So, Dizzy, what's your favorite dessert?
I don't know, like blueberry scones. That seems like a very dizzy dessert.
Okay. And Lilith, what's your favorite dessert?
Carrot cake.
Carrot cake? Okay.
Yes.
Is it frosted or not frosted?
It is frosted.
Okay. So while you're resting, and you don't know where it came from, but like next to each of you will show up one blueberry scone. It's fairly large for a blueberry scone too. Shows up next to Dizzy, and Lilith a good chunk of carrot cake with white frosting that seems very floofy, I guess is the word I want. It's this very airy frosting that has a slight scent of cream cheese. They both show up next to you. Twiggy, where there was like a little crumb of a lobster roll next to you, is now a full-size lobster roll again.
This is the best house.
And Lyra, what's
Should we eat these?
right? What's
Yeah,
what's
great.
Lyra's favorite dessert?
Lyra doesn't really like sugar. I'm not gonna lie.
No, that's fine. So what is her favorite like meal?
Meal?
Yeah.
I'd probably go like a nice she's ironically or not ironically, she's a vegetarian, so like a nice like roasted sauced cauliflower steak,
Okay.
you know, like with like fixins and things like that. Like she's all about that.
So everyone's taking a short rest, and you
Okay.
can have conversations while you do this. But during that, you're talking away, and then all of a sudden there's just food next to each of you, and there's this cauliflower steak that just like emanates this delicious smell.
Okay. Okay, we're doing short rest, right?
Yeah. And if you spend hit dice, roll an extra d6 from Dizzy's Song of Rest to regain.
Okay. I don't know why it didn't push.
Oh yeah, mine didn't show up either.
Yeah.
Is it showing up on your sheet?
Yeah,
Okay,
it is.
that's all that's important,
she-
really.
She doesn't need the extra D6.
Okay.
she's back at max. There's the cauliflower steak.
Yeah.
They're back in this like office room type wherever they were.
So, do you see the room with the dancing lights in it?
Yes.
Okay, so that is the kitchen, and technically the dancing lights are gone.
Okay. Oh, they're back downstairs. Oh.
Yeah, so, well,
Okay,
technically you went
gotcha.
upstairs to the first floor. You're on the first floor right now, in the kitchen. You actually haven't been in this room before. So let me describe it real quick. This
Yeah.
fireplace up here looks like it is both a fireplace and there's like an oven built into it. There's a stovetop. There are several food preparation areas, but a lot of like the ceiling has fallen in. For the most part, the room isn't in the best of conditions. You came out of this door to get in here.
Okay.
But there is a warming fire that's burning in the fireplace. This food has shown up. Twiggy has been gnawing away at it so far without any issues, except for every so often you swear that his lobster roll moves before he stuffs it in his face.
Lyra just kind of makes like a face. And, like there's a reason she's a vegetarian.
That's because you never know when your lobster roll is going to start moving.
The cauliflower doesn't look weird or anything, right?
I mean, it looks like a cauliflower steak.
I mean, does it though?
Yeah.
Like, Lyra, I mean, food materializing out of nowhere. Lyra's like, that's sus.
Yeah.
That's sus.
Are you gonna eat any Lyra? Because I will reserve my action until you do so.
Yeah. Lyra's not touching it. She's like, that's sus. She
Yeah.
just, yeah.
Well, I mean, Twiggy already ate it. Lilith is acting very strange, so you're
'Cause
the only
Twiggy's
person.
the brightest one in the bunch here. Totally.
Oh no, I didn't eat. I haven't eaten any of this. I don't trust
Oh,
Twiggy's
good.
stomach.
You do have a brain.
I've always had a brain.
And Lilith, are you eating any of your carrot cake?
Yes. How could I resist?
So as you bite into it, it has a flavor. It's just not quite what you remember carrot cake tasting like. It's almost like it's not dusty, but kind of that like maybe expired taste. Like it seems bland to you.
Gross. Immediately stop eating and kind of gently spit out what I had
Okay.
in my mouth. Like in my hand, and
Whoa.
kind of put it on there, wipe my hand off.
So do we see this, or are you doing this like?
I won't be discreet. I'll kind of look around at the rest of you, like,
Yeah.
So what's
Ugh.
what's wrong with it?
it doesn't taste right. It doesn't taste right to me. I can't eat this.
Does yours taste fine, Twiggy?
It's the best. I always like trying new things, and when you've got a house, you've got to have lobster. That's usually how it works. I think that's how
I
it
don't
works,
have
right?
lobster in my house, but I don't particularly like lobster, so
But I thought that's
Maybe
what you
there's
do.
something just wrong with mine. It's fine. And
Well.
just set it aside. And kind
Next
of like,
time it shows up,
don't worry about it.
we'll get you
I'm not
some.
worried about it.
So as you're sitting there, oh, go ahead.
So Lyra's passive perception with her special dagger is 18, but
Okay.
she's gonna like she's taking a look at like she looks at her cauliflower steak, she looks at like she sees Twiggy's lobster roll moving, and she's gonna like try to see like what the hell's wrong with all this stuff.
Okay.
Because like doesn't seem right.
Go ahead and roll. Well, I mean, without tasting anything, like it. So one, it looks like it should. Two,
Does
they
it smell like it?
They smell like
Okay.
they should. In fact, if you go over to Lilith's carrot cake, it smells really good. There's like a scent of like cream cheese to it. There's like from the frosting, the carrot cake is very carrot cake smelly. I don't know how to
Sweet
describe
carrot.
that one.
Sweet carrot smell with a hint of undertone of nuts.
There you go.
There you go.
Sorry not to.
Tell me you work at a winery without telling you. It's a sweet carrot with an undertone of nuts. Okay. Lyra still doesn't trust it. Like Lyra's just like, I'm good.
Okay.
She's
okay. So I'm gonna whisper to Lyra.
okay.
Maybe we can get Twiggy to taste all of these, and maybe he can tell us if there's anything wrong with it.
Is it coincidence
Twiggy,
that
eat
Twiggy
this.
found the tasting tin? I don't think so.
Give it to Mikey. He'll eat anything.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So Lyra's just gonna like eat this.
Well, all right, if you don't want it, I happen to be a connoisseur of all things delicious.
Does Twiggy like cauliflower steak?
You know, he's always very interested in new things, new foods. This is new. You know, they don't have this in the Feywild. I'll eat that. That sounds great. I'm gonna mow down. Yeah.
So as you're chewing it, have you had cauliflower steak before, Twiggy?
Probably not. No.
Okay. Have you had cauliflower before?
I went on a date with a cauliflower once, but that was in the Feywild.
Were there romantic interactions afterwards?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't. We parted as friends, really.
Okay. Well, it definitely has an odor of cauliflower as you take a sniff and then you start eating it. What's really weird is like having not eaten cauliflower, you weren't sure what to expect, and it tastes interesting, but there's a certain like flavor to it. It reminds you a little bit of what the cat smelled like, but you're not really sure why.
Well, I mean, it's certainly unique. It's very unique. Probably a dish that's from this region.
Aren't the words I wanted to hear, Twiggy. Those are not the words I wanted to hear.
Well, I mean, I don't know what you were hoping to hear.
Lyra will kind of turn to Dizzy and be like, "You next. Go. Do it." Like, you next.
All right, so I'm gonna give him my blueberry scone.
Okay.
I love blueberry scones. Nom 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 nom.
Make an intelligence check, Twiggy.
That's super strong suit. Really good at that.
The best.
All right, so you're mowing down on this scone, like crumbs are flying everywhere, and it's definitely blueberry. Has that like strong, fruity blueberry taste. It's kind of heavy, but not pungent, I guess. But the flour that this was made with, it tastes a little weird.
Like cats?
Not like cats, but you can't place the flavor. So it's a little blander than you expected it to be. There's a little bit of sugar in it, but not quite enough to cover whatever that taste is. And when you finish it, it just kind of like stays in your mouth, that weird taste.
Well, I mean, the house had a lot of work. There's probably doing a lot of work. There's, cooking all of this stuff and preparing it. One dish probably be better than the other dishes. You guys got any more?
There's the carrot cake.
I'll totally eat that too.
Yeah, I don't think Lilith wants it, so
Yes.
help yourself.
Just shove my tiny face with all of this food.
Oddly enough, the carrot cake tastes exactly like carrot cake and is delicious.
Oh my god. See, some people are better at some desserts than others. That one was pretty good. Pretty good. Best house ever. We should move in.
Lyra is like, she looks at Dizzy and like is like watching Twiggy as Twiggy eats this.
Right.
Like, it's like, is it like, what's happening to this? Like,
I have no idea. Clearly there's something wrong with the food.
I don't like it. Like, Lyra's just like, I don't like it. I'm good.
Well, tart wasn't great, but the rest of it was pretty good. You guys should really try the lobster roll when it is next, wherever they show up.
I'm good.
I think I'll pass, thanks.
Well, okay, then I guess more for me.
Twiggy, go ahead and make a
Nom nom.
con save.
Right. Whoop.
Amazing. You have eaten a lot of food by this point. And you are not that big of a body, so your belly's just kind of sticking out. You're just like, oh, it was so good. That kind of food coma feeling is coming on. You're having a hard time, like if you want to fly, you're just like kind of weaving through the air. But
Like a fat fly.
yeah, you don't feel like if anything else shows up anytime soon, you'll want to save that as opposed to try and eat it again, or like add on. Wait till everything is digested, is what I'm saying.
Important. Well, it's good to get a good meal in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. Great to keep giving away their food.
All right, so your short rest passes. Has everyone done your hit dice?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I wish the skeleton had a thumbs up, like hand position. I just feel like then you could just raise the hand instead of having to be like, wah. Okay. So what would you like to do after your short rest?
find where this key goes? Ha!
Oh yeah, I suppose we can look for where the key goes. We're all rested up and whatnot, so
There was a door downstairs, wasn't there?
There was a door downstairs, I believe.
Well, we should probably start down there, since the key was found down there. Probably opens a box or something, but we could try the door if
have
it's
we
locked.
come across any locked things at all since we've been in here, or?
I don't believe so. And while the short rest has been happening, a wind has picked up outside, and every so often you can hear it whistling, especially through that one window that had the cracks in it, in the ballroom, if you remember, the one that had the changed so it looked like the glass looked like you instead. So there's like the house shakes a little, and then you hear like this pattering of rain start. Where to?
I'm gonna cast Druidcraft.
Okay.
To see if it can pick up on the weather.
Okay.
The
Describe to
last
me
time I
what
tried
that...
to use it,
Sorry, go
the
ahead.
last time I tried to do that here, it failed when I tried to grow a plant. So I'm gonna try and see if it can tell me the weather. Still trying to suss out where we are. Limited use stuff. Where are you? Sometimes, I mean, there's lots of great things about this program, but sometimes it's hard to find the things you're looking
Right.
for.
It's super awesome until it's not.
Until it's not. There you are. All right, I found you. So it predicts the weather, what it'll be like for the next 24 hours.
Okay.
We're whispering to the spirits of nature, so I don't know if those exist here.
Right.
But I'm going to try again just to kind of test where we are, or if like what is happening, like if it's rain, if it tells me rain, or if it tells me something else, or doesn't work at all.
Yeah. That's a really good question. We're going to go with, so you cast it, and you get the feeling that it's raining.
Mhm.
You're pretty sure it's going to keep raining for a bit.
Mhm.
Maybe the whole next 24 hours, maybe not. There might be some others that are as overcast, but not raining, but windy.
Well, wind is never good.
No, it's not.
No, wind is always bad. Good thing we're inside. Oh, also the spell works because it's raining, and that totally works. So either best wizard of all time, or we're still in the prime material plane. Wait, no, both. That means both.
Okay.
Also, let's find where this key goes.
So Lyra and Dizzy, what do you... I mean, Twiggy has obviously learned that it is raining outside. Something that you also feel is happening, but perhaps his magic is working as far as forecasting the weather. So it'll be hard to really tell until it happens. So with that in mind, and trying to figure out where this key goes, and Lilith, where would you all like to go?
Downstairs.
I think the first thing I'm gonna do is cast dancing lights again, so
Okay.
that we can give some light to Twiggy.
I like them. They're really pretty. Wish I could do that. I mean, I can do that, but
Now I
Lyra's
forgot what
like-
it was.
Watching Lilith like out of the side of her eye, like she's not at, like she's she's peeved at Lilith because, like, in her brain, she's like, I thought you were fucking dead. Like, pissed at you. But, like, she's also watching Lilith out of the side of her because Lilith, like, looks different. So she's like, what's wrong with you? But she's not, like, openly, like, what's wrong with you? But she's just kind of, like, watching Lilith. So, like, wherever Lilith wants to go, Lyra's fine with going.
I mean, I'm still pretty suspicious of Lilith right now, so...
Well, I mean, Lyra's gonna, like, follow Lilith to be like, where do you want to go, Lilith? Tell me where you want to go.
Your kitchen, Twiggy. What?
Right.
I mean, your whole life's purpose has been completed.
Well, I mean, a good house worth its salt has a kitchen and lobster, and clearly this is a good house that I'm totally going to live in at some point. But got to find out where this key goes.
Well, I'm down for going down.
Okay. Is that what everyone would like to do? There's your dancing light. I'm gonna actually, sorry, let me make it so you can control it.
There we go.
Controlled by...
Uh-oh. Yeah, mine just also...
Oh, no.
No, I think we
boot.
all just absolutely...
Oh,
Bum, bum,
there they come.
bum.
There's Mick. Hooray! Oh, the internet.
Welcome back.
Oh, internet.
Right. Okay.
So... But so Lilith says back downstairs and Lyra's like, to the basement?
It's my vote.
No. No.
Well, we got a
Weren't you
key.
Just in the basement?
There's a door and a key. They used to
But
go
what
together.
If there are more cats.
Also, the basement is in the opposite direction of out.
Oh yeah, didn't Lilith want to go out?
I did want to go out, but I thought we needed to pick something up first, and so that key is a good clue.
So why do you
door we
think we
can't-
need to pick something up?
It has something to do with the dream that I had when I was laying on the floor.
Did you catch that?
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. It was getting a little quiet on my end, but...
Yeah, it got out a little bit, but I think we all
Huh.
got it.
I wonder if she had the same dream that I had. Well, probably not, because mine had nothing to do with finding stuff.
I don't like this. Lyra's just like, I don't like this. Like, just like to herself, like on her. Fine, Lil. Let's go. Let's go. We'll go
the
get your
basement?
thing.
Yeah.
Real quick, Mick, can you move the dancing lights?
Hold on.
I deleted the token from earlier, so had to remake a new one.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. So you want to head back downstairs, right? I
Yes.
mean, want,
Or
right?
Yeah.
So you're,
In
I guess I should say,
quotation.
so you're going to head back downstairs, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, can I
Sure.
copy over your dancing lights and bring them down with you? And I'll move you all back over here. And I should probably update that you are no longer unconscious, no longer dead, or just dead adjacent at least. All right, so you all head down the stairs. You don't see any signs of the cats, other than the corpses that you left behind. Every so often, there's a little drip from the wine cask that Lyra cracked open and came out of. But other than that, it is quiet and dark outside of the range of your dancing lights. What do you do?
Go to the door.
Okay. You find that the door is... I'm going to double check this. Sorry, hang on one sec. I'm pretty sure it is unlocked.
Oh, that's my favorite thing as a DM when you're like, there's one door in the room,
Right?
and everybody's like, oh my god, I inspect the doors. I'm like, sure, go for it, do the thing, do the thing, and it's just unlocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So who's inspecting the door?
Inspecting?
Inspecting. Perceiving. Who's perceiving the door? Who's opening the door? Twiggy.
I was gonna say, this is
was like-
Twiggy's adventure.
Pick open the door!
Right.
Twiggy and Lilith's great adventure.
Um,
What's happening?
So, Twiggy, the door is unlocked, and as you turn the handle and flap and push it open, it does take a little of your a little extra effort for you to push, as there's kind of like a buildup of grime and dust on the floor behind it. As you push it open, there are old pieces of furniture. There are boxes and crates that have kind of fallen into themselves from rot. There's definitely a kind of a pungent smell, maybe a little bit of humidity down here that has caused everything to rot. What do you do?
It's not that door.
You want me to move you to where you are?
Oh, sorry. Just let me go back to the. Yep, there you are.
Are there any other doors?
You don't see any other doors in here, no.
Boxes.
Should we check the boxes? Actually, I'm not checking these boxes because I'm not getting surprise attacked again. So
Do we need to check the boxes?
Lyra's gonna, follow, but her passive perception is 18.
Okay.
I don't know if that matters.
I mean, you never know, it might.
Yeah, but yeah, so she's gonna kind of like, I don't know if Lilith is following Twiggy through the door.
It kind of depends on how far in Twiggy goes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Twiggy's tiny.
Yeah.
It's more just like if Lyra can get around Lilith and Dizzy, she's literally just gonna like Twiggy into the room. Like she's in here. She's in here.
Okay. Lilith, are
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay.
Lilith will follow in.
over here? Dizzy, are you heading in as well? You're gonna kind of remain at the outskirts of the room.
I'll head in.
Okay. So you all notice that there are these, rotted crates and some furniture. Lyra, the one thing you do notice is this wall.
Okay.
It's a different stonework than this one. Similar, but like it's pretty obvious once you notice it, and you just kind of like out of the corner of your eye you realize that the coloring of that wall is a little different than the coloring of the walls of the basement that you've been in. Even the styling of it doesn't seem to be quite the same.
Okay. She's definitely gonna kind of come over here and be like, this wall's different. Just kind of announce it to the group. And if there's crates in the way, like she will kind of like monkey climb her way over crates.
Yeah.
Like, she's totally fine to get like up close and personal with this wall. Like,
some of the crates you kind of have to climb over are rickety, so you just kind of like hop over them dexterously.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
you make it to the wall, and it definitely the stonework is definite, or like the stone itself is different stone. It's a similar type of stone. It's like also a granite, but it's maybe a little lighter in color than the other, and it's
And like arranged a little differently.
yeah. The way that the wall was built is definitely different.
Okay. She's gonna kind of like put a hand out and just kind of like push against it
Okay.
a little bit.
It
To see like if it feels different or
It's definitely cold, like stone should be. It doesn't feel different texture-wise or anything like that, and there's no give to it either.
Okay. She's gonna keep like, you know how like if you're like knocking along the wall, like she's gonna
Mhm.
kind of like go. She's at the wall. Whatever
Sure.
everybody else is doing, she's at the wall.
Okay. While Lyra's inspecting this, what is Dizzy doing?
I'm gonna come and just kind of figure out what it is that she's doing that she seems so enthralled with.
Okay. As you get closer to it, you can also notice there's a little bit of light that is coming from your dancing lights, and so the coloration of the wall is definitely different. The stonework is they're laid in different patterns than what you've noticed so far. And it seems like Lyra's looking for maybe a secret entrance or to see if there's like a hollow space somewhere in the wall.
I mean, weird to her. She's like, this wall is different, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll take my rapier and just kind of tap like various spaces on the wall just to see if anything sounds different.
Okay.
Like maybe I'll get a hollow spot.
So Twiggy, while they're doing that, what are you doing?
Well, they're inspecting the wall. Dizzy's tapping the wall. I've got a key, so I'm gonna look for keyholes on the wall.
Oh. Guess what?
What?
Roll a D.
That was Libby.
Roll a D, whatever you want.
Oh dear.
2 fickle fates in one session.
Out to get ya.
All right. 56.
Okay.
56.
So what are you doing?
Looking for keyhole
Okay.
in the wall.
In the wall.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, that probably would work, right?
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, walls have keyholes.
Lilith, are you there? What is Lilith doing?
I am gonna help Twiggy with finding the keyhole because I know that he's got the key, and we need to get whatever it is that we need to get. Though I'm curious, do I have any perception as to what we need from this house at all?
You never really got like a solid sense of what it is that you need to take to that place you saw. You're just kind of hoping you'll know it when you see it. Is the
Okay.
feeling you wake up with.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm helping him try and find a keyhole somewhere.
Okay. So Dizzy and Lyra, you're like knocking away, and all of the stonework sounds the same. And Twiggy flies
Okay.
around, and he's looking for this keyhole, and like there's some area that essentially like the grout has worn away, and Twiggy like stuffs the key into it, and it fits. Like you kind of have to like wiggle it, and some more grout falls off. It's obviously not a keyhole, but when you pull the key back out, there is an like the little bit of light that's from behind you. You can see that the grout ends, and like the brick ends, and there's a darkness beyond. So there is something on the other side of the wall.
Found the keyhole. Try and stick it back in and take it back out.
And essentially
Twist
all
around
you're
in
doing is
there.
like kind of digging more grout out, whether that's your intention or not, like by putting it in and kind of trying to turn it and stuff. When you pull it back out, more grout falls out.
I mean, eventually I'll find the right part of the keyhole that the key goes into.
Totally.
But for now, this is working. Yeah, this is working. This is exactly how it's supposed to be done.
Will you just... And Lyra just like pulls the crowbar from her backpack. Right, seeing Twiggy trying to dig grout out with a key.
Yeah.
She's like, just, and she's kind of like the cat almost did, just like him, and just like, yeah, not shakes him, but just like gruffs him and just like pulls him away and takes the, not the curved end of the crowbar, but the flat end,
Yeah,
and just starts going at the
Sure.
wall.
Hey, do you need this?
Not yet. You know what? You hold on to that.
Oh,
You hold
yeah,
on to
I
that.
will. Yeah, I will. Yeah.
So yeah, so Lyra's gonna start going at the growl, like Twiggy was.
So, as you dig out the stones, it starts to become clear to you, Lyra, because you can see through with your dark vision that there is a room beyond, and you can see it's kind of a circular chamber. It's hard to make out all of the details right away. But go ahead and roll a D, whatever you'd like.
Oh, Liv.
She is out to get us today.
She is.
The power goes to 9,000.
Oh, man.
Okay.
366.
Wait, was that John or me who was rolling? I mean, it doesn't matter.
Sorry, it would be you, Lyra.
I was just excited about rolling dice.
Right.
I was like, yeah. Random dice, yes.
I am really entertained by it. Was like 3666.
666.
I know, right? I want to roll 400, 4100. Oh, see, even I got the
666. Okay.
Nice.
So as you are digging out the stone and you can see this circular room beyond, you see a staircase that goes up, and you can't see where it goes to quite yet because of your angle in which you're digging out.
Mm-hmm.
But as you you pull back to take another wall up at the wall, and everyone's kind of watching, and you hear the echoing of what you're doing. And then in the echoes, you hear,
Wait, Jerry, you cut out. What?
Of course I did, because I'm trying to be all dramatic.
Isn't that how it always goes?
Right? You hear your name whispered back. It's like, Lyra.
No. No.
And
no, Lyra.
That's where we're going to end for today.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Dun dun dun.
So,
Dun dun dun.
as you are revealing this other room that's hidden away behind a strangely constructed, well, not strangely constructed, but strange wall in this other area, are there any questions, comments, concerns? Anything that anybody wants to share with the audience this week? Any upcoming streams, stuff for sale, cool happenings? Cat.
Kitty.
Mm-hmm. Share a marshmallow.
Right? I'm always down for marshmallows. All right.
I know,
Well,
right?
in that case, that will be it for this week, and we will see you all next time on Through the Mist. Bye.
Bye, guys.